Same email, same list, same offer. One version makes you $1,500. The other makes you $3,500. The only thing that changed, whether those emails actually hit the inbox or quietly slid into spam. And here's the part that should scare you. Your email platform will tell you everything is fine while it's happening. A 67 out of 100 score, rated fair, every metric sitting in the green or yellow, looking totally acceptable. It's not. That score can't actually tell where your emails have landed. I'll show you the exact tool that can and the 3-step fix to get your emails out of spam and into the main inbox. Here's what nobody tells you about deliverability. Inbox providers like Gmail don't decide where your email goes based on how good it is. They decide based on engagement. Are people opening it, clicking it, or deleting it without reading and marking it as spam? So when you blast your whole list, including people who haven't opened an email in 8 months, you're sending Gmail a signal. And that signal says people don't want this. So Gmail starts protecting its users from you. First the promotions tab, then the spam folder. The worst part, once your reputation drops, even your good engaged subscribers stop seeing you in the inbox. You poisoned the well for everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Houcem. I run Power My Marketing, an email and SMS agency for e-commerce brands. But before the agency, I built and scaled my own e-commerce store to 7 figures in less than 16 months. And deliverability is the most expensive problem we fix because it's invisible. You don't see the revenue you're losing, it just never shows up. Let's run the math real quick because this is what makes it real. So you have a list of 10,000 subscribers, you send one campaign, and let's say that each person who actually sees and engages with that email is worth 50 cents to you. First scenario, your deliverability is bad. So only 3,000 out of those 10,000 actually see your email. 3,000 times 50 cents, that's $1,500 from that send. Now flip it. Same email, same 10,000 people, but your deliverability is healthy this time. So instead of 3,000, 7,000 of people will see your email. 7,000 times 50 cents, that's $3,500. Same email, same list, more than double the money. And that gap repeats on every single campaign you send, every week, all year, and we haven't even talked about email flows. That's how a deliverability problem quietly costs you tens of thousands of dollars a year. Now, you might be thinking, but my Klaviyo deliverability score looks fine. That's the same score I showed you a minute ago, 67, fair. Let me show you why that number is a trap. Look at the metrics it's built on. Open rate, click rate, bounce rate, and subscribe rate, and spam complaint rate. Klaviyo grades you on engagement. While Klaviyo can see that your email was delivered, it cannot see where that email landed when it got delivered, inbox or spam. Klaviyo logs it the same way, as delivered. And it gets worse because that open rate you see is incorrect as well. Since Apple Mail started auto-loading images, a chunk of your opens are actually fake. Apple opens the email, not the human. So you can't be looking at a 44.6% open rate, feel great about it, yet half of those could be Apple opens. Click rates are also becoming less reliable because of all the bot clicks. So the scores aren't useless by themselves, but they are built on inflated data. So how do you find out for real? You simply test it. There are a ton of free tools like MailReach.co, and they do the one thing Klaviyo can. They show you exactly where you land across Gmail, Outlook, and Yahoo. It works like this. MailReach gives you a list of seed email addresses across every major provider. You send a test email to those addresses from the same email you use on Klaviyo or the ESP you're using, then it checks every one of those inboxes and hands you back a report. How many landed in the main inbox, how many got buried in promotions, and how many ended up in spam. So let's do the test real quick. All you have to do is go to mailreach.co and then click take a free spam test. So you will see there are 2 steps here. The first one is to copy and insert this code into the test email that you're going to be sending. And the second step is to send that email to all of these inboxes. Let's copy the inboxes first, go to the email, and then type in all of them here. Then you go back and copy this code here and insert it in the actual email here. And maybe like do test email, something like that, and then have the code here. And then all you have to do is click send. Then after you hit send and click on step 3, get your free spam test report. It asks you to see your result, select the type of inboxes you target, and I always select all types of inboxes. It will take a little bit of time for the text to conclude, but you can already see that some of the emails have landed in the main inbox. The test is now done, and you can see here that I got a 10 out of 10 score, and you will see all the inboxes that we send that test email to. Some of them are professional emails and some of them are personal emails as well, and they are from Office 365, they are from Gmail and from Hotmail as well, and all of them landed in the inbox. Typically when I run this, I see at least a few that landed in the spam folder, whether it's from Gmail or Hotmail, and I know exactly which provider is putting those emails in spam. There are other useful features here as well from this tool. For example, if you click click on content analysis, it will analyze your content and tell you exactly if there are any issues with it. And the most important feature, in my opinion, is setup analysis. And we're going to talk about it later when we talk about how to fix this problem. I recommend doing this once a month, and definitely if your revenue per email has been sliding and you don't know why. This is the difference between hoping you're in the main inbox and knowing for sure. Let's say that you've confirmed that you have a problem and some of the emails have landed in the spam folder. Now here's the 3-step plan to fix it. And this is the actual order I'd do it in. First thing is to build the foundation. Set up a dedicated sending domain and authenticate it properly. SPF, DKIM, DMARC, these are the records that tell Gmail this email is really from this brand. If you skip this, nothing else matters. And this isn't optional anymore. As of 2024, Google and Yahoo made this a hard requirement. If you're sending more than 5,000 emails a day to Gmail, you need DMARC setup. You also need your spam complaint rate below 0.3%, and honestly, you'd want it below 0.08% and even lower, because 0.3% is already the point where they start throttling your emails. And you also need a one-click unsubscribe link or button. Miss any of these and they will reject your emails outright. That's the price of entry now. The good news is that if you're using Klaviyo, SPF and DKIM are usually already handled by Klaviyo. They configure those when you set up a dedicated sending domain. If you go back to your MailReach report and click on the setup analysis here, you will see if these records have been set up before. So for example, it will say that you are on any of these public blacklists, then your emails are less likely to hit the main inbox. You see here that for my domain, SPF check, we found a valid record, DKIM check, we found a record on Select through Google, and DMARC check, we found a record as well. Once you check that all of your records have been set up correctly, start by sending only to your most engaged people, your 30-day engaged segment. These are people who opened or clicked an email from you in the last 30 days. Those are your safest, most active subscribers, so they send Gmail strong positive signals. Once your metrics are healthy, expand to 60 days, then 90 days, then 120. You're climbing back up slowly, so the inbox providers relearn that people actually want your emails. And while you do this, keep your engagement metrics above the benchmark. Your open rate needs to be above 33%, click rate needs to be above 1 or 1.5%, and subscribe rate below 0.3%, bounce rate below 0.8%, and spam complaint rate below 0.08%, and ideally as close to 0 as possible. Third thing is going to be maintenance. You need to be ruthless about list cleaning. We like to set up a sunset flow, which is an automation that gives unengaged people one last chance to re-engage. And if they don't, we just stop emailing them. I know it feels backwards to email fewer people, but every dead subscriber you keep emailing is dragging down deliverability for engaged subscribers on your list, and also driving the cost of your Klaviyo bill because they charge based on the number of profiles you have. A smaller engaged list will out-earn a big dead one every single time. So think about your own setup for a second. If you're sending real volume every week, deliverability is the foundation. It gets you into the inbox, but it doesn't make people buy once you're there. That comes down to your flows, your segmentation, your campaign calendar, and the whole system working together. Fix deliverability and you've unlocked the door. You still have to get people through it. If you want my team to look at your account directly, there is a link in the description below to book a 15-minute call. We'll test your inbox placement and show you exactly how much it's costing you. But what you actually need to watch next is this video right here, where I break down the system that's driving 30 to 50% of our clients' total revenue from email and SMS. See you in the next one.